Good evening, everybody. Hopefully you can hear us and you can see us and you're joining us this evening. If you are with us, then as always, please let us know in the comments that you can see us and you can hear us. I keep confessing this, but a couple of weeks ago, Pete was absent and I stood here talking to myself for several minutes before I realised I was all on my lonesome and you were not with me. So please don't leave us hanging. Pop a comment or a like or an emoji in the little box and let us know that you are here with us this evening, because it's always nice to know that you're here. Tonight we have loads to get through, and I know we're out of our schedule, so if you've just been notified, if it's popped up on your screen that Creative Expressions is live and you're thinking, what day is it? Is it not a Monday or a Thursday they go live? It normally is, but as many of you will know, Gwen was on TV last night and it kind of clashed with our times. She's not very good at that, you know, coming along, clashing with what we're meant to be up to. Not at all. It was a joy to watch her and it was an absolute joyous show. And tonight we're going to be talking about a few of the bits that Gwen had on her show and hopefully doing a couple of demos with them as well. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't want to miss out on the fun. And that's the truth. I didn't. I really love this collection and it's my chance to have a little play, because I didn't do the show. So it's my chance to have a little play with the collection and bring you a little bit of inspiration from my side. So let's have a little look. Have we got anyone with us or are we here on our own? Good evening to Sue. Good evening, Kathleen. Good evening, Wendy. Good evening, Joyce. It is lovely to have you all with us, genuinely. And before I forget, we better go over to Hostage Cam, hadn't we, and say good evening to Peter, because he is, as always, held hostage in the cupboard side of the room.
Cupboard side of the room. Evening all, how are we all? Hope you're all okay. Did you say hello to Beth? And
I did not say good evening.
You know what that means, don't you?
Apologise, Bethan.
You know what that means. Star on the chart.
How does
Star
that...
on the chart. Anyway, hope you're all okay. Thank you for joining us all. I'll pass you over to the boss now.
No, I don't think you're.
No, anymore.
I don't think you're going to hand it back at this stage. What do you mean, star on the chart, Peter?
On the naughty chart, wherever it is.
I think you should show the viewers the naughty chart just in case they have never seen it before, because let's be honest, it only comes out when I get a star and it doesn't when you do.
One chart. This is Jamie's, loads of stars because he's really bad. Mine, well, that'll do because I ain't got any stars because I'm obviously
Have you really genuinely got absolutely no stars?
I've got loads of stars, haven't I?
Well, where is your
There's
stars?
mine, I've got 3.
So you've got 3 and I've got how many?
There's a lot. They ain't got time for me to count all them. Anyway.
We need an independent adjudicator.
Said we're not professional.
I think we need to rewind them tapes and see why I've got 20 stars and he's only got 3. And I think it might have to be a little task we set somebody to find out. Emma supplied us with the charts.
She did.
So I might make Emma independent adjudicator to see if we can work out what's going on there. Because I think there's some fraudulent activity going on in the star department.
Beth Ann forgives you.
So, and clearly said that I don't get a star, Peter does. I'm sure that's what the comment said. Okay, so we're all out of sorts today because, of course, we're not on our right day. So I've got different things to tell you about and different things I don't have to tell you about, which, to be honest with you, blows my little mind, because normally I have a whole little schedule of what I'm going to tell you and when I'm going to tell it to you. Today, I haven't got a clue, so we're just going to have to wing it, aren't we? I am going to give you a reminder of the current homework challenge, though, before I forget, because if you haven't already seen, I know Gwen told you about it earlier on in the week, but we do have a little homework mission going on over on the official group, which is, of course, Creative Expressions official group. And on there, you will see that we have now set up event tabs or event pages, whatever we know them as, that take you through the next 3 homework challenges or missions. And we've done this intentionally so you can plan ahead. We did a bit of research, we chatted to a lot of you, and you said, you know what, by the time you tell me on a Monday, and I've only got till next Monday to source it, make it, create it and share it, it's a bit quick. So what we're doing instead is we're giving you a couple of weeks notice. So you now know, I think it's something like the 8th of September, something along them lines. We're going to start a Halloween week. So now you can think about that. You can plan ahead. You can get your ideas flowing. And maybe if you need to source something for that, a sheet of orange card, a bit of ribbon, you've got a chance to actually track that item down and get it in place ready to make that creation. So it's just our way of trying to help you guys plan ahead with your homework. If you want to wait for the surprise, then join us every Monday evening and we'll tell you what that week's mission is. But if you do want to see them ahead of time, you can check out the event section and they're going to be there for you. But this week's mission is for you to make, I'm going to say a snowman themed card, but a snow person themed project. And it doesn't have to be with one of our Rodneys or any of our characters, Rosie or Rebecca or any of that lot. Of course, if you've got them, you're more than welcome to use them. And it would be lovely to see a creation created with them. But if you don't have one of our snowmen stamps or dies, make a snowman out of circles, sketch one, draw one, create one. It's a few circles. It's not, it's not something War and PC. It's quite simple if you want to create one. And you might do that in a really abstracty kind of way. You might do it in a really modern kind of way. We had a lovely one the other day. I think it was done by Kim. I'm terrible with memory, with my memory at all. But she'd kind of done it and it looked like it was looking down on it. You might do like more of a puddle with like a snowman, just a branch coming out of it and a sun in the corner that says he's melted. Whatever is up to you. But we're heading for a snow person themed card. It can be any colour you'd like it to be, but we are looking for this to be done on a 7x7 shape. And I say shape because it doesn't have to be a card blank. It could be a scrapbook page. It could be a piece of home decor. It could be a piece of MDF. It can be whatever you want it to be, but the footprint of the project needs to be 7 inches by 7 inches. And then once you've created that project, you share it with us on the group and you use #snow, and then it will be entered into win our £40 goodie bag that we will let you know about on Monday night when we are back for our next live. You're stuck with me again on Monday. I'm sorry, but there is some really good news. Little jig. We will be chatting woodware come Monday evening. Now tomorrow at 1 p.m, it's 1 p.m, isn't it? Yes, you don't want to go up at 1 a.m, 1 p.m. 1 p.m, Francoise will be right here on this channel in a little pre-recorded video where she takes you through the collection. It's only like 5 minutes long. So if you've got chance, join her at 1 and have a little look through the collection. I think you're going to love it. It is totally woodware. It is totally gorgeous. There is stamps and different bits. I don't know what I'm allowed to tell you, so I'm kind of looking to Pete here to see what I'm allowed to say. I don't want to take away the surprises from Francoise, so I'm going to stay stum, but join us tomorrow at 1 and she will take you through that collection. And then Monday night at 7, we'll have kind of a bit of a sneaky peek.
A few people said the volume is a bit low. Have we done our mic tonight?
We have done our mic. I will look at the little box and just check. Oh.
Do you know what it needs?
Do I get another star?
You get another star.
Do I really?
Diane's right. They are flying tonight.
This isn't fair because I did do the volume and then I had to reset the box. So thank you for telling us. Absolutely. But star worthy, I think that's a little unfair.
Do you want another one? Because I'll give him another one.
I don't think you will.
I will.
Okay, time to come up with some reasons to give Peter some stars, I feel. So Monday evening at 7 p.m, we will have kind of sneaky peek for woodware. Francoise will take you through it tomorrow, being Saturday at 1 p.m, and she will show you the collection in this little video. But on Monday night, we'll sort of dig into it and show you a bit more of it. And then if you missed the woodware announcement, you might not know this already, but there is a woodware show coming up on Hobby Maker on Saturday the 6th of September at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. And that, of course, is going to be your first place to be able to buy the woodware goodies, which is going to be very, very, very exciting. I'm genuinely nervous about this already and excited. I can't wait to see how those shows go because I have a feeling you're going to fall in love with this as much as we have. It is such an adorable collection, isn't it?
It is. Very, very
really
typical Francoise, isn't it?
Adorable. Okay, lots of other times and bits I'm going to tell you about throughout the evening, but let's not faff about. Let's get on with some demos, shall we? If you have any questions this evening, tonight is all about playing around, really. So if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments and we'll do our best to answer them for you. I have lots I want to share with you though. I have got piles of stuff off to one side to get through and share with you. So shall we have a little start actually by taking you through the autumn collection? Because if you didn't see the shows on Hobby Maker yesterday, then you might not have seen this lot. It isn't yet available to everybody. It is still currently only available through Hobby Maker at the moment. It will have its stockist launch day next Tuesday. Peter's going to give me a date for that because I forgot to write that bit down. When's next Tuesday?
I want to say the 2nd.
2nd of September. So 10 a.m, 2nd of September, next Tuesday. Stockists will have this available. We'll tell you on the Monday night Natter next week which stockists will be launching it so you know where to go and look for it. But just to give you a bit of a quick overview, there is 3 stencils. These are all 8x8 and they are pattern match stencils. So you can literally do them side by side and carry them on to whatever size you want them to be. There is autumn leaves, there is Halloween creepy critters, and there is splatter. I personally love all of them, but this splatter one makes me very, very happy because it can be taken off to be all different types of splatters in all different ways, in all different colour schemes. You can do it really rainbowy and modern. You could do it red and very sort of blood-esque, if that's even a word, or it could be really fun backgrounds for birthday cards and bits like that. There is then 2 A5 stamps. Now, you know we always like to tell you the truth, and we do. We genuinely, truthfully do. These 2 are already very, 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 very limited stock. And I can truthfully tell you that this one in particular already sold out with us here at HQ within, I'm going to say 20 minutes of being made available to our stockists.
Yeah, something like that.
It was literally about 20 minutes and that was gone. That means there's not going to be many of these available to the stockists. If you like the look of this one, this isn't Precious Hours, it's just truth. That one's going to be a problem. And we have got more on order, but they're not going to be here till the end of September. So if you're not in a hurry for it, don't panic, it will be back. But if you are in a hurry for it, then either pop onto Hobbymaker now, they've still got stock, I believe, in the bundle, or wait till Tuesday and track it down at a stockist. But there may be stockists that won't have it, and if they have got it, they won't have it for long. Very similar story with this one, and I think you can see why. The ghost is gorgeous. The little faces really come into their own to decorate on the ghost. They also work really nicely with the pumpkins to actually be able to put faces on the pumpkins. We've then got cobweb corners. We've got blood drips. And I'm going to say it was Kim again. Kim is going to be my go-to name tonight for all of the things I keep forgetting. But I'm pretty sure it was Kim who did a really cool card where she used this blood drip on the top of a cake and made it look like icing, which worked really, really nicely. This border bit, again, really beautiful. And then I also like this part, these leaves blowing through the wind because they can be sort of manipulated to go into different directions. This corner is really good as well because it matches in with all of the pieces throughout it. And that bouquet could come in for so many occasions, whether it's a get well soon, a happy birthday, an autumn card, a Halloween card. It could be so many things that take us through this season, take us through our autumnal season. Then, of course, we've got our leaves that stack and can be built up if that's something you'd like to do, and little acorn elements in here. You've then got a little bat to top it all off. So wherever we could, we've fitted in as many elements. I also really like the little spider, and the little spider is great to hang off of the cobweb corners. Then we move on, and we have got 3 DL stamps. Now, these again are our pattern match style stamps. And a pattern match stamp, if you've never heard that term before, or you've not seen us before talk about these, it means that the image goes off of the side here and it matches this side over here. You might see that better here with the pumpkins. That pumpkin edge matches that pumpkin edge. So you can stamp it, you can move it along, and you can move it along, and you can move it along, and you can do that whether you're going side by side in any direction or up or down. So you can literally stamp this pumpkin background all over your wallpaper if that's what you wish to do. The only limitation here is the size of your canvas. And you have got that in autumn leaves, which are really lovely. Gwen did some lovely demos with this one. Especially, if you didn't see it, you can see it on her live from Monday, or you could see it on the Hobbymaker shows yesterday, her first show, which I'm going by memory. Was it 5 p.m. yesterday? 5 p.m.
Yes. Yeah.
She did a great demo with this one using the enchanted sprinkles that if you haven't seen it, genuinely go and watch it. It's a way of using the enchanted sprinkles that I've never personally seen done before with a stamp. She literally, I'm not going to ruin it, but she puts them on and misses it, and it's incredible. And it isn't just about one impression, she did 3 from it. It's great. Then you've got your pumpkin patch. Now this one, I'm going to be honest with you, I love this. And I know it's potentially pumpkins and you're thinking kind of limiting because it's a pumpkin. But my mind is already ticking away. I feel we need a bit of a princessy theme collection to go with this. I don't know when it's going to be, so don't look for it to be tomorrow. This isn't a little hint that I've got one coming out next week, next month. But I'm seeing a carriage. I'm seeing that look. And I don't know, maybe next year, but I think this is going to come back. Then we've got our splats. So the splatter one, again, very much like the stencil version of the splatter. To me, this is great because it is all year, all seasons. Can be modern, can be funky, can be basic, can be whatever it needs to be, depending on the colours and the techniques that you bring into play with it and create with it. Then this collection doesn't end there. Now we bring in our 4 A6 stamps. I'm going to lay them out like that so you can have a little read ahead of me if that's what you'd like to do. But we're going to run through them. Our first one is our pumpkin owl. We're going to be using this in one of the demos. Actually, we're going to use both parts of that in one of the demos we're going to do this evening if we get a chance. We then have the words hello and autumn. Of course, you can use them together. You can use them independently. Then we've got autumn verses, and these really do go off on quite a different tangents. So let's just pick out a few for you. Leaves are falling, autumn is calling. There are better times coming your way, so hang on in there until that day. That's a lovely one. There's so many times that we need that little just sentiment that fills the gap, that tells somebody you're caring about them and that you know that they're not necessarily in the best place, but something better's coming. I like that. Then what have we got? It's the time of year to celebrate you. Very good for birthdays. A leaf is a letter sent from the trees. Love that. Wishing you bound for love and laughter that fills your heart with joy. See, they're lovely, aren't they? They go off on all different tangents. Then we move on and we've got the autumn sentiments. Now this again, we've called it autumn sentiments, but one of them in is happy birthday. So it kind of takes you off on lots of different themes once again. You've also got hope you feel better soon, cherished friend, thinking of you, so thankful for you, warm autumn wishes, hello. I want to sing that every time I say it.
I thought you were going to burst into song then.
And it's not the Adele version either, is it? You think we should do the Adele version? I don't really know the Adele version, so we won't do that. And then, not that I know the other version, but we're not going to do that one either. We don't want to scare them all. Okay, and then lastly, we've got the Halloween sentiments. And on this one, we've got dying to see you, warm wishes, boo to you, happy Halloween, have a spooky birthday, autumn leaves and pumpkins, please, trick or treat. And then this one I love, happy birthday, pumpkin. I think that's adorable. That's so cute. And then we've got pumpkin spice and all things nice. And lastly, we have got when life gives you pumpkins, make pie. So that is the autumn collection. 4 A6 stamps, 3 DL stamps, 2 A5 stamps, and 3 stencils. And that, as I say, is currently only available on Hobby Maker. There is, of course, a bundle price. There is smaller bundles. There is individuals. Then on Tuesday, it will become available from our stockists, and you will be able to pick this up at your favourite stockists. On Monday night, I'll give you a list of who they are and who will be launching it for you on Tuesday morning. If you have any questions about that little lot, let me know and we'll run through it. But if you don't, shall we play with it? Shall we do a little demo? Are there any questions?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Unless I've missed them.
If you've
Which
missed
could
them,
be a bad start.
you get triple stars today because that's the mood you've put me in, thinking you're going to cheekily dish out these stars unnecessarily. Okay, we are going to start off with a piece of coconut white card. Now, I haven't been able to say that for a very, very long time, and it genuinely makes my heart happy to be able to say that again because I love coconut white card. It is that lovely point between ivory and white, basically, and it does genuinely make me happy to have it back. It's such an elegant colour. It just is rich and luxurious without being too dark or too bright. If you haven't seen that we've got the coconut... Pardon? You can't interrupt me with mouthing and then not tell me what you've said.
For the audience that couldn't see, it looked like he was hunting for something.
Oh, I am hunting for something. I was.
I was trying to be good.
We need a better signal, though. And I do feel now that you've interrupted, that has got to be worth a star.
Oh, I don't think so. I have visions of me launching into the warehouse to, go find the old inflatable banana, so to speak, which is a pack of coconut white. I thought you wanted coconut white. Supermarket sweep.
I feel this is star-worthy. The interruption is star-worthy. The offer of help possibly was nice, but star-worthy. Mostly because I feel like I need to balance out the stars now. So, it might be being harsh, but I think it's worthy of a star. Okay, what I was looking for, Peter, is masking tape because I'm currently using double-sided tape to hold my stencil down because I can't find any masking tape. So you were right in the sense of you could see I was trying to find something, but it's not the end of the world. But he is going to go look for some for me. while we do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold our stencil down in place on our coconut white card, and we're going to bring in a selection of distress inks. Love distress inks. We can never really move away from distress inks, can we? They're just such a lovely one to play with. So we're going to start off by using these over our stencil, and we're thinking autumn, so we're just going to yo-yo through a few shades. This doesn't have to be perfect. Let's start off with Fired Brick. My pads are really old, and I mean really old. But yeah, I still get a good effect from them, so they might look a bit messy. They've certainly been around the block a bit, but they still do a good job. So we're going to add in some Fired Brick, and as you can see, mine aren't the juiciest of pads because they genuinely are getting on a bit now. I don't know what year. Will they tell you a year on them? I don't know if they tell you a year on these. This one says on it 2004. I don't know if they all say 2004 on them. I can't imagine mine's that old. That might be when the idea was registered or first created, but I don't think mine are that old. But they could do with a top up, couldn't we all? Okay, so we'll do a little bit of the Fired Brick. We're then going to go for, let's go for the greens. We're going to go for pine needles, and I'm being really naughty because I'm not cleaning my brush and I'm not going to a different brush because I'm going to wash my brush later, so I'm not worried about it being messy. I'm going to go over the top with the pine needles, and we are thinking autumn, so we want to try and build up those kind of autumnal shades. Now our stencils, as you're probably aware, this probably isn't the first time you've joined us for one of these, and you've probably heard me waffle on about this endlessly, but if you are new and you haven't heard about it, it is actually really good to tell you this. Our stencils are cut from a slightly thicker mylar. That's the material they're made of. A lot of stencils are quite thin, ours are genuinely quite thick, and that's really good because it means that when we emboss them for our machines with our rubber mats, it means that we're going to get more depth to our embossing. It also means that when we put texture paste through them, we're going to get more depth to our texture paste. So you get a more prominent effect really, really easily, whether you choose to emboss or whether you choose to put paste through them. Obviously, when we're putting ink through them, it doesn't make a lot of difference in the sense of how it works, but it does mean, because we've gone for thicker mylar, little fiddly bits, this one isn't too bad in fairness, but let's go with the idea of these little pieces here going into the leaf. Some stencils, they might move as you're working with them. Ours are genuinely cut from that thicker material, so they just don't move quite so much, and that means that you're going to be able to be a bit more heavy-handed with whatever product you're putting through, with no fear that they're going to kind of move out of line or damage or become a problem. Okay, let's move on then from pine needles, and we might go back through some of these shortly, but we're going to now move to rusty hinge. So this one is that lovely sort of orangey brown that's really autumn in a pad.
Oh, Jasmine, she's got you so down.
Why?
Says Jamie, you are not going to wash that brush.
No.
And you know it.
No, I'm probably not, Jasmine.
We all know it, Jasmine.
You're probably very, very right, in fairness. And then next week when we do another live and I pick it up and I put it in light blue and then go, oh, I don't know why it's brown, you can say, but it's because you didn't wash it, although you told us you would. Because it will happen. It normally happens. It does happen. It happens more than it should. I'm glad you're aware of my lack of cleanliness when it comes to craft supplies. You wait till you see the stamp shortly. Honestly, they look horrendous. Very rarely clean a stamp or a brush or anything crafty, really. Unless I have to. But we try. We have to pretend that we're going to, don't we? We have to pretend that we're going to be clean crafters. Whether we are or not is kind of a different story. Okay, now we're going to go off into aged mahogany. We're going to bring some of this in because that's going to be a really lovely bold shade to go over the top of this. Have we got any Woodware fans in the house this evening? Has anyone mentioned Woodware and its impending arrival, Peter?
They haven't, but I'm sure that there's quite a lot of Woodware fans. I know there is definitely one Woodware fan watching. That's our lovely Laura.
Lovely Laura. Lovely Laura has made some very nice samples that Monday evening I'm going to get to share with you. And I'm genuinely excited about that. Siobhan's samples have arrived as well. You might have seen a very silly photo we put up on the Woodware page last night. Very late at night. And we finally kind of got round to getting to the box. I still haven't opened them. I honestly, I'm telling you the truth here. Pete, go get the box when you get a minute. And we'll show them. This is temptation at its finest. This possibly, because I 100% honesty with you, I can't wait to see them. But this is how busy it's been around here the last couple of days. We're just kind of running from one thing to another, which is great, and we love it. But it does mean I haven't actually got to dig into that box and see all of the lovely samples Siobhan sent. Laura's part of the team here now at HQ, and she brought her samples in and kind of plonked them on the desk, and we looked for them at the time. But can we dig into this? We can dig into this, can't we? Watch the ink pad before we do an impression. Look at all them lot. These are all samples from Siobhan. Isn't that lovely? How they've come wrapped. They're like little surprise presents in every single piece. And the whole box, not just the top, all of it, all of the way through. I can't wait. Honestly, I'm going to have to go into this when we're finished tonight. Oh, we might have got to the...
Yeah, it's going to be a star in a minute if you reveal too much.
I can't have another star, honestly. You're going to run out of stars. We're going to box that back up. But I promise you, I haven't gone any further than that. I've been very well behaved. I do want to. I do need to. I'm very excited about seeing them. Okay, so we've blended our background. I'm quite happy with that. I think that'll do. I don't think I want to go back for any of the colours again. So we kind of went for aged mahogany, rusty hinge, fired brick, pine needles. We didn't use tea dye and we didn't use scattered straws. Sorry, guys. We'll leave you over there. Now, we wouldn't normally move this, but I want to show you what we've done because you might think, well, actually, I'm really happy with that and I don't want to do anymore. That's what we've created so far. That's rather lovely in itself, isn't it? We could leave that well alone if we wanted to, but we're not going to. We're going to bring that back and we're going to anchor it back down with our finger lift tape. Not the product to use with a stencil, but you know, it's fine. We're then going to bring in, and this is something I love doing, we're going to bring in our splatter stencil. Now, this is a great thing about stencils that are all done to coordinate and all done to match, because of now we're working with 2 8x8 stencils. We can literally lay them one over the top of the other one. We can anchor that top one down. We will use the masking tape this time because we will behave honest. We're going to anchor that down, top and bottom. We're going to go back to our inks. So we're going to go for the aged mahogany. And we want to make this one a bit darker, so we're going to go in over the top. So now what we are doing is we are adding dots onto our leaves. We're adding the splatter marks down onto all of those leaves. So we're building up texture on what was just a flat blended leaf, because we're now creating a double effect on them. Now, you could do this with a stamp if you prefer, but obviously the stamp is going to infill all of the areas because we're not going to stamp over the top of the stencil, because even if we did, because of the depth of the mylar, you're not really going to get to see much of it. So we're going to go over the top of this one. We're going to add in some colour. And this isn't vital. We don't need loads of colour. We're just trying to build up a bit of colour. I'm going to complete the corner down here. And then we're going to go back to our rusty hinge. I'm going to pick up some of this. And we're going to go over the top again. And we're not worried about if we go over the edges of the stencil, because we're going to be cutting this out once it's dry. We'll do a bit more over here. Trying to get all the way through all of them layers. So we're now looking at double stacked stencils. We've got quite a bit of depth to go through, and this is why a brush is great, because it's going to go through all of these intricate small pieces for us. And I think we're going to be happy there. I think that's going to give us a bit of tone going through. We're then going to go to our texture paste. So now we're going to bring in, if I can find it, our clear texture paste. Now again, Gwen had this on yesterday's shows available for you. Of course, it's available for our stockists as well. This is a big jar. It's 150 ml and it's clear texture paste. And I love this because it is literally what it says it is. It's clear and it gives you depth, and it's just perfect for adding to. Now, whether that's that you add in your enchanted sprinkles, whether it's that you add in some of the ink to it, whether it's that you add in a mister to it, or a gilding flake, or even metallic waxes, you can mix in and create brand new effects with it. What we're going to do is we're going to go over the top of this. Now, as we work this, the excess ink that we've placed on the top of the stencil, if you watch up in this corner, for instance, we're going to pick that ink up and we're now going to put the ink into the texture paste. So even if we didn't get all the way through the layers, if we did, great, because it's then going to be more deep and prominent. But even if we didn't, into our glaze now, can you see we're turning that glaze kind of amber? Doesn't that look lovely? Doesn't that look rich? We're going to take that and we're going to place that over the top. We're going to infill all of the dots, all of the splats. And we're going to let that level out so that we know that we've gone all the way through. And you could do this in so many different colours if you wanted to. It doesn't have to be autumnal colours. This could look really lovely with different stencils. So obviously on the base we put in place the autumn leaves. You could do these splats going over the top of our birthday balloon stencil, for instance. That'd look really nice, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be a lovely effect? Now, if we now take this part, and we wouldn't normally do this, but we're going to take this, we're going to put that out over our coconut white card, just because I want you to see how we coloured that texture paste, how we've created that really lovely amber texture paste that is actually really lovely on its own. So it's not necessarily about this technique. We could have just taken these inks, put them out onto our mat, and then mixed in our texture paste to make that product. And we've now got a brand new texture paste, completely different to what we already had, just by using that clear medium to create that product. So we'll take that and we'll put that into some water, and then we're going to start revealing the stencils. So I'm going to take away our first one here. And again, this can now go straight off and into some water, so we soak off all of that texture base, because we don't want to leave that on our stencil. I'm going to hand them off to Peter. Thanks, Pete. And then I'll give you this one as well. Thank you. And then we can remove this stencil underneath our finger lift tape, which really isn't the best idea. There we go. And that one again can go into water. Thank you, Peter. And now what we've created is little textural dots of colour on top of our leaves. So whether that's frost in the morning, whether that's dew, whether that's sort of your leaves just genuinely being autumnal leaves and kind of going off on their own directions, whatever it may be, you've now created a really lovely colour and texture and depth to the top of this. Now this texture paste will dry with a glossy finish to it. So if we take this and we leave this to one side and we dig out a sheet that's already been done earlier, he says, I don't even think I've got my kit out yet, have I? Shall we find the kit? Here we are. I've got to be excited. I've got a bit carried away. We're delving in and I haven't even got the bits out to share. Here we go. So this is one that's been dried, or just left to dry. We didn't dry it. That implied that we did something to it. We didn't. We just left it to one side for half an hour. And then that clear texture base will dry. And then you've got that lovely glossy texture over the top of it. That lovely autumnal feel going over the top. Now, as I said, this, of course, is with our leaves. But this could be over our balloons. It could be over all of our different stencils that you double stack to create that texture and create that depth that would work really nicely for you. So let's start building this card up, shall we? So we'll start off with our card blank. The card blank is a store-bought 8x8 card. So it is technically 7 3/4 by 7 3/4. We're going to bring in a piece of coconut white and we're going to place that over the top of it. That's going to be about 7.5 by 7.5. And then we're going to bring in some gold. This is our gold mirror card. I always love gold with autumn. It's that perfect colour to coordinate. So we're going down to a 7.25 by 7.25. And then we're going to bring in another piece of coconut white. You can see I've got a bit carried away with the old coconut white. So we're going to bring this one in and we're going to place that on the top of it. Now the panel that we created, I resisted temptation, but we could take a brush and we could go around the edges and we could tone this down slightly because of the colour still on the brush. And then when we layer this on top of that, we're going to have more of a shadow, more of a depth, more of a prominence and a point of difference. So it might be nice to finish this off and actually add that all the way around. You don't have to, but once this texture paste is dry, we could certainly add more to it. So we'll just go around the sides here to colour that in and match that to coordinate. Okay, then we can bring this in and we're going to place this one on the top of that panel. And then we're going to go to our circles. So we're going to start off with a plain circle and we're going to match in our gold mirror card that we've already created in our base layer. And we're going to put the gold down in the centre. We are then going to go on to a scalloped circle. But this scalloped circle needs a bit more to it, doesn't it? We can't just have a plain scalloped circle. So let's dig a little and see if we can find the stamp that we're going to go for this evening on this one. I was thinking that we would go with our very cute pumpkin owl because he is gorgeous. I say he, could be a she. Let's bring in the owl and add this onto here. So I've already done my die cutting just so that it's ready to build up on top of. You can of course stamp first if you prefer and then die cut. I never really know if there's a better or a worse way round to do this. If I'm being honest, go off in both tangents. Sometimes I will stamp first and then die cut. Other times I'll die cut and then stamp. There's kind of fors and against in both ways, isn't there? Sometimes it's nice to know where you're heading. When you come to sort of target practice your stamping, but other times it's nice to do your stamping, then die cut. So either way, but we'll stamp that down, and I'm going to use our lovely black Panther ink pads. These are our quick dry ink pads. So they are pigmented, so you can heat emboss them. They're also alcohol marker friendly. So when we come to colour this, we can do so. They're also waterproof, which means if we'd like to paint in with something along the lines of our misters, for instance, or our enchanted sprinkles, we could do that without any fear. So I'm no colourist at all. I'm very sort of quick when it comes to colouring and hopeful, and never tend to use the best products. I tend to just use some cheap alcohol markers, being honest with you, and add in some colour quite quickly. Now our dear Gwen, she did a great demo the other day. Well, actually she's done several. She did a really good one on Hobby Maker yesterday where she was showing you how to do your enchanted sprinkles and then stamp on top of them, and that looked really lovely. And then on the live she did on Monday night, she did a really good demo as well, painting with the enchanted sprinkles. So of course you can bring in colour from those different pieces if you prefer. It doesn't have to be with alcohol markers or watercolour markers or pencils. It can be with all the different mediums, and you can build them up however you wish to. But I would just go ahead, do a small amount of colouring, a bit of blending, and colour this in to the point I'm happy with it. Now, you don't want to watch me do endless colouring, I'm sure, because it's kind of boring, isn't it? Let's be honest. So around here somewhere, he says he should have one that's already done, but I'm not seeing it. I don't know if I have. Oh, I have. Ye of little faith, it had to be here somewhere. So let's take off our foam tape lids and bring in our pumpkin. Check our card is going to open the right way. We'll go that way, actually. That's kind of nice. We'll go that the proper way. We might even remember to add a ribbon to it later before we send it out. We'll place that bit down. And then we've just got a couple of little tabs to go off to one side. We have got, and I don't know which one this is actually. I'm not too sure. What one does this one come with, Pete? Do you know?
Not too sure, to be honest.
No, I don't know. Memory like a sieve today. Pete will investigate for us, but we've used one of the sentiment panels, and on the top there we've stamped Warm Autumn Wishes. To finish off the final card, I added in a ribbon because I've got a bit of a thing for ribbons, and I do feel that kind of brings some interest to the top of the card and adds a bit more flourish and a bit more depth to it. So I'll try to do that before I send this one out, if I remember. Memory like a sieve, but we'll try to remember to do it, just so that you've got it all finished off nicely. But just a ribbon tied in a little bow to go around the edge there. Sentiment, of course, that's going to come to you in one of your sets. I can't remember which one that is actually. Which one gives us the autumn wishes?
Autumn sentiments set.
No, sweets, the panel,
right?
the die that we've stamped on the sentiment panel. Which one's that? It's my fault. I should have remembered to get it. That one. I really like this one because it looks like a ribbon threader, as if you could have ribbon behind it and that would kind of join it, or you could even put a little slit in it and add it. I don't know. Oh, here it is. I've gone past it. So your sentiments coming to you. Pete is right. He did say that, didn't he? Autumn sentiment set is where that's coming from, and it's the one on the top here. So again, lots of different options in that set to kind of complete the look if that's what you prefer, or options if that isn't the sentiment you want to add onto it. But a nice way to finish that card off ready for autumn. So have you seen this technique done before? Have you seen double stack stenciling done before? I always think that's a really lovely way to use your stencils, and something I often forget we can do. We kind of look at a stencil as being one level and one use, but actually stacking them gives them a whole new lease of life, really, because we end up with completely different effects to what we might have imagined. And this could be done in so many different ways. It might be that you want to do the autumn leaves and then you want to bring in some of the spooky faces to put over the top of it. Or like I mentioned, it could be kind of doing, I've got it here, them birthday balloons, and then adding the polka dots, or not polka dots, sorry, the splatter over the top of those. If I show you it in that form, that'd look really cool, wouldn't it? That'd look really nice, having those sort of dots put across them. That could look like party poppers or confetti being thrown up in the air to go with the balloons. That could look really nice. Or maybe you want to put the splats in with clouds instead and build up that picture as kind of splats of rain or snow. Could be your idea going through that one. Or maybe you're going to use this one's dirty. We go back to not really cleaning things, don't we? But you imagined using your grid with your splats, and then you're going to end up with your splats and little squares instead. So that could be kind of good fun. But it doesn't have to be with your splats. It could, of course, be with any different mix. It could, of course, have been our balloons, for instance, with our squares over the top of them to kind of compartmentalise them slightly, which could be a really nice look as well. So, okay, let's move away from the stencils because I feel I'm getting a bit carried away with them. And we're going to pop these off to one side with Peter so that he can keep hold of them before I forget to send out our winning one. Pete's gone and got our little banner for us, just so I can tell you in case you're wondering. That is the birthday wishes one that we have used for this one, which is nice, isn't it? It is birthday wishes and it is JRCD0047. This one's been out a little while, so check with the stockists because I'm sure you will find this available in many of our stockists.
May and Joanna are all over that one. They're ahead of me on that.
Are
one.
they?
They were.
See, I don't know. We're going to have to get them here to go and get
Team is,
things
we
out
are.
of the warehouse for us because they're obviously aren't. They're
Oh,
obviously better than me. I actually wonder
You wanna
if
press-
that means that I could give you the... Oh no, that ain't the noise I was thinking.
wow.
Where's the what? You were beaten.
You're going to have to explain that
Beaten.
now.
I feel we should introduce our little sound box last week, didn't we?
I feel that
Was
there's
you
going to
here
be...
for the sound box? I love the little sound box Kim sent us. I think it's brilliant.
Like I see a lovely comment earlier that you said about explaining something over again. You know, when you're explaining something that you feel that they've seen a million times over. Claire's joined us tonight. She said, thanks for explaining it.
Good evening, Claire.
See, we've got new viewers all the time and they're wondering what on earth that noise would be.
Yes, yeah, there's some, honestly,
And we
Claire,
have had another delivery, haven't we? Have we shared that? Or-
No, we haven't. No, not yet. We haven't.
No?
No.
Okay.
No. We're going to share it. We're going to share the new delivery we got today, but we're not going to share it. And it's not a product. It's a present, and it's a very, 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 very cool present. But I think we need to share that not in this room. All will come clear. Maybe tomorrow we might share that one with you. Maybe Sunday. I don't know. We're going to have to see when we can sort that out, but we will share it shortly. But yeah, if this is your first time, there's a lot of random things go on here. We haven't even yet spoke about Debbie McGee.
My dear friend Debbie.
We don't need
Someone-
it again.
Someone
We
asked
don't-
how your decorating's going as well. That was I wouldn't say Maureen. I think it was Kathleen.
Should we start with Debbie McGee before we discuss anything further?
We've got to do the wrist.
You don't have to do the wrist. It's very high on you today, and
Is
she
it?
does look a bit unshaven.
Maybe she's sort of experimenting.
I don't know.
How did she...
I don't think
She's
she's
like
ever
the
weighed.
queen.
We're going to come off of you because I feel we're just going to get in trouble. It's not good, is it? But Debbie McGee, yeah. So sorry, Claire. There's lots of random things going on here, from Debbie McGee masks to sound boxes, and we blame Kim for most of them.
Kim
She
is
sends us things,
responsible.
random amazing things in the post that then happen to end up on our lives and become part of the fixtures, including the Debbie McGee mask. So yeah, it's all a bit bonkers, but we enjoy it. So hopefully you do too. Okay, shall we do another demo? Should we
I think
actually
we
make
should.
another project before we go off and convince the world that we've completely gone off on a tangent? So this evening, for our next demo, we're going to bring in this die set. Now,
Kim said Debbie's got a 5 o'clock shadow.
she has got a 5 o'clock shadow. It did look good. I don't think this is a look Debbie is going to see and fall in love with. I feel she needs to adapt into her fashion routine. Okay, going back to where we was. The frame. This is our Leafy rectangle frame. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Loads of you snapped this up yesterday on the Hobby Maker shows. And by loads, I mean hundreds of you snapped this up. It's sold out multiple times. They do currently have a little bit more stock of it available. Do check with your stockists as well. Your stockists will have this one available. It's been out a little while, but it is really, really lovely. And I think this card we're going to do is one of the most popular ones I've shared with you this week on my pages. There's 5 dies in the set. You have got an outside frame, you have got the filigree kind of leaf frame, you have an inside cutting frame, and then you have 2 sets of leaves. These leaves can be used on their own. They also match up to go behind the apertures on those leaves. So if you wanted to cut your frame out of coconut white, for instance, and then do the leaves in gold and stick them behind it so the gold shines through, that will work perfectly for you. Now, here's where the tease comes in. I know hundreds of you have got this already on its way. I know you have. I know you have. Do you know that there is a butterfly version? Very, very lovely. Do you know that there is a floral rectangle version? Do you know there is a daisy rectangle version? Look at that little lot. All as delicate, all as beautiful, all working in the same ways. So you can cut the pieces in the middle and put them to the backs of the frame to make the frames really, really pretty. At the same time these were released, to work with them, so were these. You are so special. Thank you. Just because, and birthday wishes. And these fit in the middle of the frames. So you get a larger frame around the outside of them. Let me just dig a second because I'm going to find my die so I can show you what I mean by this. If we bring this in, and this might be a bit tricky to see, but that central part fits on the top here. So you've got your outside piece coming to you possibly already, potentially, in that frame. You can then use all of these words to build up on the top of that frame, or cut into it with the rectangle that's on here and sink the words into the middle of it. You've also got an extra frame, slightly larger, that you could add a filigree frame on the top of this and then layer the words on top of that and really build this up. So I know you've got this potentially coming to you, or you've potentially seen this, but don't miss all of the other bits, because of these open up a whole world of interchangeability. Between the 4 sentiments and the 4 frames, you can mix and match to your heart's content to make some incredible effects. Genuinely amazing. If anyone would like to know the numbers for these, yell and I'll run through them for you. It's no problem, but the one we're focusing on in the demo is 4462. That's a CED 4462 Sue Wilson die set. And we're going to use a card blank to begin with, which is again a store-bought one, slightly smaller than an 8x8. This does also remind me, if we do have any stockists with us this evening, sorry guys, I should have asked you to do this already. If we have any stockists with us this evening and you would like to pop a link in the comments to let us know where we can find you to track down the items we're talking about, please don't hesitate to give us those links, because it's the only way our viewers are going to find these products. So please don't be shy, give us your links. Okay, we are then going to layer up with a piece of white card on top of that one. He says this, I don't have a card to follow this evening. We're going to go off on a bit of a tangent. My card's with Gwen. It is. It's with Gwen. I haven't got it. I just haven't got it. So we're going to have to wing it and see how it looks. Our frame. This is our beautiful frame that we have cut. And for this demo, we want 2 of these. And what we're going to do with them, we're going to start snipping them about a little bit. So we've chose to leave out that middle frame. So don't forget, you could cut open the centre with that die and actually have them as an open frame. So if you're into your journaling, you're into your scrapbooking and you want to turn these into photo frames, that's going to work brilliantly for you as well. But we're going to leave them as a solid, and we're going to start snipping into these. And I'm going to do this by eye without too much checking, and we can come back and neaten them up in a second. But we don't need this bit, so we're going to take that away as well. And then we're going to snip down to this side and we're going to take that part off. Now this, perfectly usable, and we could have trimmed that with a bit more to it, so it doesn't have to be just that filigree. But if we start thinking about bringing that in and adding that down the side of a panel, that's a really usable offcut that could look actually really lovely on its own right. So don't dispose of that, keep hold of that. We'll come back to that another day. We're then going to do exactly the same to the other one, and we're going to go in and we're going to snip. Should we do the same side? Let's go down here. Let's take this bit off. And we might well change this. We can always snip more off. We can't necessarily stick it back on. So we'll take away a little bit and then work on if we need to do more. We're then going to bring these two together. And as you can see, we're going to create a square. Now, I cheated when I did my one. I started with where I'm going to build to. So I worked out that the square I needed to cover up that join is going to be the same size as the biggest part of that panel. So I took a piece of white card and I created the panel that I needed to by adding that one on first of all, trimming to where I needed it to be, and then bringing in the other one and layering that over this end, so that I'm now back to being a perfect square without having to worry about matching up. Does that make sense? So everything then fits to where I need it to be. Everything's neat. Didn't have to overly measure. I just had to put that panel in place. Now you might choose to do this on a bigger format. You could easily say, well, actually, I want that to be a rectangle. I want to take that off to be much, much bigger. I want to make that an 8x8 and I'm going to make that really big. You could do that. You could take it to where you want it to be. Just cover the middle with a size square that you need it to be, and you could go off on whatever tangent it is that you want to take it to. Because when you've got that corner element in place, it doesn't matter if we stop there, or we stop there, or we stop there. You've got that corner piece, and you've got that border that can be repeated as many times as it needs to be to make the size square that you want it to be. So when you're looking at these and seeing them as a rectangle, don't be fooled. They don't have to stay as a rectangle. Complete snippability, complete ability to build them up to where you want them to be. So because we started with our gold layer and we built up with the white, we want to bring back in some gold. So we're going to add on a gold layer as our next mat. We're then going to bring in some white and we're going to build that up on top of this one because we don't want it to be gold. We want there to be quite a bit of white. And we're going to place that down on top of that one. We're then going to go back to our card blank and we're going to flip this bit over and we're going to bring in some foam tape. Now, while I'm doing this, we want to give away the cards we've created this evening. So what I would like to know tonight, and this is going to link into the next part of the demo, is if you go to a fancy coffee shop or to your favourite coffee shop, or maybe you're just round your friends and you're getting cheeky and asking for something a little bit more than tea with 2 sugars, what is it you would request to have go into your very fancy cup? What's your drink of choice in your posh coffee shops? That's what I'd like to know this evening. I know I'm just being nosy, but it's my question for the night. What's your drink of choice that's going into one of them cups that you're going to pay a ludicrous sum of money for, but probably really, really, really enjoy, so no judgment. And later, I'll confess mine, because I've got one. I don't drink coffee. I wish I did drink coffee, but I don't drink coffee. I don't even like the smell of coffee, if I'm being honest with you. But I wish I drank coffee. Many, many, many moons ago, I knew somebody who worked in Starbucks. And at the time, I don't know if this is still true, but they did over 2,000 different options to drink. And I always think that must be really lovely to walk in the doors of Starbucks and think I've got 2,000 different drinks I can choose between. You're never going to be bored, are you? You're never going to walk in that door and think, well, what do I have today? Or more, maybe you will. But you're never going to walk in there and think, well, there's nothing I want if you drink coffee and you're happy to go off on all them different tangents. Where to me, and I've tried a lot of drinks at Starbucks, there is only one that I will go for. There is only one weakness, but it is a very good weakness. Okay, so let's bring in that lovely cup because that's where we're going to go to next. And we're going to stamp that out using our little stamp press. So this again comes to us in the same set as our pumpkin did. So we're looking at Pumpkin Owl for both of these stamps that we've used in the demos, the kind of focal points to them. And we're going to find some white card, which he says should be around here somewhere and seems to have gone missing. So we'll bring in a big sheet. I'm going to anchor that down. When we talk about card, I need to talk to you about New Foundations card, don't I? Got a bit of a secret actually with this one. We've had some new ones sneaking under the radar that we haven't told anybody about. And I thought tonight I'd tell you all about them so you could have a little sneaky peek at them. So remind me before I forget and we'll have a little look at them. So there is our little Posh cup. Do you like that little Posh cup? It's got to be posh, isn't it? It looks posh. Anything that's that fancy is going to be a bit posh, isn't it? It's gorgeous. And that's what we want because we want to give that lovely luxury look for our cards. And maybe we're going to bring a few of these together and we're going to make a little display of them. Maybe we're going to just go for one of them. The choice is yours, obviously. I actually kind of like the display idea, and I've got two here. I've got two that have been coloured in. So we might actually use both of these. Should we have a little look at how that looks? Maybe we could go off with the yellow one towards the back and then add in that one off the side. I kind of like that. I think that looks nicer to have two than one. So we're going to do two. We're going to round this one out. We're going to add this one on as well. So we're going to take a bone folder just to the reverse of it and give it a little bit of a form. We possibly, I'm going to go back a second. I'm conscious now that one's more coloured in than this one. So we're going to add in some quick colouring just to make sure that they coordinate, because I think that's why I've got two in my kit, one to colour and one to use, but I do actually think it looks nicer with two. So we're going to go for two. And we're going to do a bit of quick colouring with some alcohol markers so that we can use this one too. Is there any questions while I'm doing in me second cup, or any fancy drinks you've not heard of, Pete? You fancy giving a try?
There's a lot of nice drinks.
Is there? What's your go-to
Interesting.
so far?
I don't know, Sue's one. I've not thought of this. Well, peppermint, yes, but licorice tea.
Oh,
Sounds different, doesn't it?
that's not a bad one. Would you try that?
Give it a go out of curiosity.
I don't like licorice, so we'll go for the peppermint.
I'm not into all the pumpkin spicy bits and cinnamons and all that, but toffees and all that I'd like.
Toffee sounds good,
You know, toffee nut. Oh, yeah.
What's that, a coffee?
Yeah, you get a toffee nut latte.
See, when you don't drink coffee, you kind of just don't even read that part of the menu. So I've got no real idea what the options are, to be honest. Just put off by the coffee bit. Okay, so now we've got that bit going on. Let's bring in some extra foam tape. We'll place that on the back here of our little Posh cup. We'll bring this one in and we're going to stick that one off over there. And then we're going to bring this one in and place it just off to one side of it. Oh, I didn't colour in my little bits at the top. Let's go for them as well. We can't chunk end. Let's go for the fine end. Little bits coloured in. There we go. Just so that's matching. So we'll send out both of these to our lucky winner when Peter picks his winner shortly. It's all right, isn't it? It's not too bad. Quite a quick one. That frame is gorgeous, isn't it? I could see that being used for so many different things. It's so pretty. There's a couple of bits there I need to poke out. I think I didn't use the one I was meant to, being honest with you. I was meant to use the one that was already put together, but it doesn't matter. That'll come out. It's just left in there from when we've cut the kit. There we go. Let's take that one out. Isn't that nice, eh? So we'll send that one out to you as well, whoever is lucky enough to win. And we'll even sign them if you'd like them signed, but we'll talk to you about that shortly, I promise. So I mentioned foundation card, didn't I? That was my tease that we mentioned, foundation card. Should we show you some foundation card? Oh, the Pearl card's back. This one is Pearl Rose Glow. This one's one of my faves. I genuinely love this. It is such a soft golden pink. It is really, really luxurious. And it goes really well with the antique gold. Now, I will be honest with you, because if you know that's what we do here, we genuinely tell you as it is. This one, there is like a handful of those available here at HQ currently. There's not hundreds of them. We will have more come in, but there's only a few available at the moment. So that one, you might struggle to get hold of that one as it goes out to stockists over the next few days. Stockists were only told that this was back in this morning, so don't look for it just yet. I'm being really naughty and I'm just telling you that it's coming and that it's en route and it's going to be leaving here probably early next week and heading out to your stockists. So keep an eye on them to announce that this is back and coming in. So as you can see, pearl-wise, antique gold, rose glow, pearl ivory, pearl graphite, pearl icicle, pearl midnight blue. Then in our standard as such normal foundations cards, so non-pearl, you've got pumice, blue dusk, marigold. I love this one. Love marigold. Peach, Paul blue, scarlet. Scarlet's not new. We had scarlet, but it's sold out. So it's kind of back. It's kind of not. It's kind of back. It's kind of not. But we're going to go with it being back. So scarlet's back. And sky blue. And they are, again, back now. And going to be heading out to your stockists shortly, I'm sure. Okay, just in case you were waiting for more of those. We still have more to come. On the back of every packet, it will tell you that there are 100 variations to choose from. I think this takes us to about 40 different versions now available in foundations. The other 60 are still on order and coming in drips and drabs. So as they arrive, like now, we'll tell you about that they're here or that they're back. We'll hand those ones off to Peter to look after. And can I tease them with something else, Pete?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Am I allowed to tease them?
I don't know which direction you're going now. There's many things you could tease them with.
There is a few, isn't
There's
there?
lots of things coming.
Should we tease them with what I've got over here?
Which one are you going with? Oh, quick flash.
Quick flash. Quick flash.
Quick flash.
I'm going to show you this quickly because apparently I've got seconds and then I think I might get a sound effect, so we'll be quick. This is going to be launching next Thursday with Gwen. This is a bundle bargains. It's a new concept we're doing. Gwen will be here live next Thursday at 7 p.m. You can see, because I'm lingering longer than I should be, all of the price points that you're going to be paying for this, and you're going to be able to track this down at select stockists. We will tell you on the night where you're going to be able to get hold of this. But as always, our stockists are allowed to start selling it the moment it arrives. So depending on the stockist, it might even be there, and you might be able to order it and have it before Thursday night. Not guaranteeing it, that isn't part of the deal. The idea is Thursday night, Gwen will show you some inspiration with it. She has got samples by Sue, she's got samples by the DT, she's got samples by herself, and she will do a couple of demos with that bundle too to give you even more inspiration. You're saving, I can't remember, £22, something like that, £21 something on that bundle. So that is going to be limited, and it genuinely is limited. We don't have huge amounts of them at all. And here at HQ, if you're a stockist and you're thinking, I haven't seen this email, what is this on about? How do I get hold of them? We have 5 in stock remaining at HQ. When they're gone, that's the bundle gone. So 5 remaining if you haven't already ordered it as a stockist. As stockists get them, they will start putting them up. And then, of course, you guys will be able to track them down. And next Thursday on the live, Gwen will tell you which stockists have them available and are ready to announce them. Okay? Something new. We're always trying to do something new. That'll be new next week. Should we do one more demo? We've got time for one more demo. I reckon we could fit in one more. Should we do one more? Yeah. Last thing out of the drawer. Last thing out of the drawer. I promise. And then we're going to let you go home and have some peace. Or not go home because you're probably already home. But we're going to leave you in peace because you don't want to listen to us all evening, do you? So this is the card that we're going to do next. And this, of course, is using, and this, we need a button, Pete. We need a die of the week sound.
Okay.
Do you reckon we could reprogram some of these?
We could have a little go at hacking the box, maybe.
Hacking, I don't think we can
See
hack
what's
our own
possible.
Facebook accounts, let alone hack a box and reprogram it. That don't give die of the week, does it? I don't know. No. That's a bit Tom and Jerry. We'll play with the box. We'll come back to that. Anyway, die of the week. Let's chat die of the week. So this week, if you've not come across die of the week before, every day at 4 p.m. on the Creative Expressions main page, we share with you a brand new card created with a die that I've chosen to be my die of the week for this week. We go off on all different tangents, all different styles, all different ideas, and then try and give you fresh ideas with that die set, because that's what it's all about. I think we're all guilty sometimes of seeing a die and thinking, well, that's nice, but what am I going to do with it? How am I going to use it? So every day at 4 p.m, we share a different creation with that die. And hopefully they give you a little overview of the different ways in which you're going to be able to create with it. Now, I know not all of these have been shared already. There's a couple that I can't quite share with you just now, but they will be all the way through till next Monday when we move on to our next die of the week. But it's our way of hopefully giving you some inspiration. And it doesn't have to necessarily be this die. You might take a colour scheme, you might take a layout, you might take out a flower from it or a technique and work with that. but it's our way of trying to give you a bit of fresh inspiration and a different idea. Now, one thing that we don't always get to convey so well on the Die of the Week posts, which I think is really cool, is like this week's Die of the Week. This is the version we're showing you, the Poinsettia Ribbon Wave. But do you know there are others? We have got the Snowflake Ribbon Wave and the Holly Ribbon Wave. Now, straight away, the way I've laid these out here, you're probably one step ahead of me. Not only is there interchangeability, which is something we love, these dots, circles, borders, whatever we wish to call them, could be interchanged between them, but you could also take the panels and layer them together, couldn't you? So if you was to bring this one in, and I'll bring in my set here, if you was to bring this in and start looking at how you could be nesting these together, you could be making some really cool backgrounds by yo-yoing between the different panels, and then interchanging these different edges to give you different styles. Now, every one of them comes with a cutaway at the top and the bottom, and then the side cutaways, you can either use plain sides, you can use fancy sides, or you can leave them in place. And it's all about them kind of ideas, which is what I love with Sue's dies, because there's so many different ways you can take these off and create with them, just by not actually making it a one style die. She leaves you with all of these different interchangeable pieces, so you tell the story you wish to tell. You take it off on the tangent you wish to take it off on. And to me, that just opens up so many more avenues to explore. So here is one I've done already. This is the part that I've cut out. So let's get these out of the way for the second. Numbers, just in case you'd like to know numbers, by the way. Again, check with your stockists for these. They will have these. These have been out a little while. Your Snowflake Ribbon Wave is CED 3281. Your Poinsettia Ribbon Wave is CED 3282. And your Holly Ribbon Wave is CED 3283, to give you an idea of those ones. If you'd like me to run through them again, let me know. Okay, let's take this part, because this is what it's going to cut in with. This is what we expect it to cut in with. This is what we wanted it to cut in with. This is where it's going to stay. If we use the separate outside edges, which come with it, so you've got your plain line and then you've got your fancy lines, then of course we can nest these in with it and we can cut it out so it's got that. Or if I get them the right way around, we could. There we go, that's better. We could put that on it and it would then cut away one side. If we put the other side on, it will cut away both sides. But this means we can use it as an edger, we can use it left in, we can use it cut out. Choices are all there, up to you which one you go with. But it doesn't mean that that's where it ends. We can also bring in other shapes. So we're going to bring in a circle. I'm going to see what circle size we want. I think maybe this one. We want something that's going to go, maybe, I think we're going to go for a smaller one down actually. Here we go. So we're going to bring this in and we're going to place that over the top. And then we're going to bring back in our masking tape or our low tack tape and we're going to anchor that down so it can cut through. And you can pick where you want this to be. Here I've got that pretty centralised, so I think actually we're going to go off to one side more so that we end up with a small panel and a big panel. We're going to hold that down and we're going to send this through the machine just so you can see how I've ended up with the panels I'm going to end up with. I'm going to flip that over, stick it on our plate and send it through. Have you had any more coffee inspiration, Peter?
No.
No?
No, I don't think so.
No?
But,
Nothing else you want to give a whirl?
no, Sue asked with relation to the foundations card if we do a 50-pack white foundations. That is something that we could ask. We don't currently carry, do we?
We don't. We only do 10 packs currently.
But we can
yes,
investigate.
we will ask the question. We will crunch some numbers and see if a 50-pack is possible. We do in our elite cardstock, which is a 300 GSM, so that's the weight that you're going to want for your boxes and your card blanks, and you can still die cut it, you can still emboss it, you can still stamp on it, it's still uncoated, it's a lovely cardstock. That one does come in 100 sheet packs, and they are quite a saving, being honest with you, versus buying the 10 packs of elite. So you might like to check those out if you've not seen them. But Pete will ask the question on the foundations, because the bright white in foundations is a bit thinner, and sometimes that's nice too. Okay, so our cutout's gone through. We can now take this part away, and we have now got a completely different die to what we expected, haven't we? Or what we started with. When we started, we had that lovely joined together panel that looks something like this. Now, just by introducing a circle, I don't know about you, maybe this is me, but that looks like a completely different die. Like I've gone and spent a few quid more on another set, and actually I haven't. I've just used one part from that die set instead, which I love. I love that because it opens up a whole new avenue. We've then got the top part that's come away. We can then bring these two pieces back together and we can reform our circle like it was always one. Isn't that cool? You could, of course, if you prefer, and you might want to play around with your placement on this and play around with where your circle's cut, and you might want to add in another plain one. You might even wish to use the plain line and do a plain piece to go behind it, but you can then start stacking those up. And you might choose to do that and put it back on top of a solid circle that you're going to cut out again. So it's all back again to being a circle. But to me, this just gives a lot of really cool ways that you could use that one die to create some really unique features with it. So sometimes, as I say, this is why I love Die of the Week, because we kind of start off in one fashion or one idea or one preformed notion of what we can do. But actually, there's loads of ways we can take a die and lots of things we can achieve with it. And it's being able to share that with you that's really lovely. Okay. Oh, I see that Jasmine says it looks like an Easter egg. That's a good idea. And that's actually another really good point. We've, of course, cut this into a circle, but it's not only about a circle. Again, just talking about us as a brand, but we've got octagons, we've got ovals, we've got squares, we've got all different sort of shapes and styles that you could be cutting that into. But as you see, actually stretching that out, you're very right, that could be an egg. Easter is never far away, is it?
We're just thinking cream eggs again.
Don't get me started on cream eggs. I am disappointed on the cream egg situation.
You are.
Well, I never got a cream egg McFlurry this year.
You
I
should
feel like
write to
that
them.
is just rude. I don't feel like I should ever have to go a year without a cream egg McFlurry. Okay, on to having a little look at this one. So in this card, I'm going to use a sheet, or on this card, not in this card, on this card, I'm going to use a sheet of our paper. This is our crushed velvet paper. It comes to you in packs of 10. This is just my pile of it that I'm playing with, but I'm just trying to give you a bit of an overview of some of the colours that are available. I think there's 10 colours available by memory, but it's a lovely textured paper. It really is a paper, it's not a card, so it's great for building with and creating flowers and die cutting and doing all of them different techniques with it, but of course it's great for using as your mats and layers as well. And it's also a bit lighter, so if you're thinking of postage or maybe you want to do some folding techniques, then that's going to work in its favour too. We're going to use our glue to just go across the back of this and anchor this one down onto our base.
Annette was asking what year were the dies released. She's not sure if she's already got them. Please.
Which dies do we know?
The swirly, the ones that you were showing, I believe.
The die of the week.
Die of the week.
Die of the week.
It's the die of the week. It's encouraging, isn't it?
Me? Don't blame me. They're not very old. 2024. 2024 these ones come out. So last year. Could you hear the hesitation in my voice then?
Was.
Could you pick up
Oh,
there?
I could.
What year are we in? Was it last year? It was last year, wasn't it? Yeah, last year's release. Yes, of course it was. Yes, I knew this.
Kim says she's not going to send you a cream egg McFlurry in the post.
Well, Kim, that would be impressive, but not as impressive as what we received today. So I'm more excited about today's parcel. Genuinely am. Very much looking forward to sharing that with the world. Okay, so on here, we're just going to layer some of our circles. We've used our decollage circles with our stitch lines. These are just our mats and layer dies. We've then brought in one of our circles as well to go on top of that. And then we're going to bring back in our pieces, our segments that we've been working with. And we will stick a corner on there in a minute, I promise. I'm going to bring that one in. I'm going to place that down on one side. We're going to check that this card is opening. Yeah, we might go that way, actually. Yeah, that might be nice. Yeah, we'll go that way. And then we're going to bring this piece in and we're going to place it down on that side. See, isn't that lovely? Isn't that easy? so much fun to be creative with these because they're kind of opened up that avenue to us to explore and play around without actually having to do too much, too complicated, too difficult. We've just had the fun of laying out and creating a composition that we didn't necessarily know when we begun where we were going to go with them or predicted that from the packet, but actually we've opened a whole avenue of exploration that we didn't even imagine was there. Okay, onto our corner piece. So our corners, these come with a kaleidoscope segment. This is the Christmas kaleidoscope segments one, but of course it could be any corner, but we're going to go in for this star to match in because it's kind of the same lacy styling as what Sue's lovely poinsettia border is. We're going to add some of our glue to the reverse of this and we're going to place that down in the corner. And there we have it. There is card free for this evening. And that is where we're going to leave you in peace because the last thing you want is us going on for absolutely hours. But it does hopefully give you a bit of inspiration, whether it's with Die of the Week or whether it's with one of the autumn stamp sets or the stencils maybe. Just a few ideas on what you could be creating. And if you take inspiration from anything we've shared with you this evening, then as always, please make sure you share it with us on our group. Our group, if you're not already a member, is the Creative Expressions official group. And if you're not already over there, do come and join in the fun. Genuinely, it's always a joy. I can safely say from my side, it's my favourite part of my whole job is when I get to see what you've been making. And I mean that, I honestly mean that. That isn't just a line, that isn't just, it's the truth. Because we design the products, we live with them, we test them, we make all the samples, we take them to air, we bring you the videos, we bring you the inspiration. But all of that is done for you to have fun. It's all about what you create with it and where you take it. And so often, and we see this through the DT samples, so often we sit here and we've got an idea of what that die is going to do, what that stamp's going to do, and we kind of have it in that lane. And then you guys get hold of it and you take it off into all these different lanes that we never imagined. We didn't even think was possible. We never thought that would happen. And that is really the icing on the cake. That's the bit that truthfully makes everything, the good days, the bad days, everything worthwhile is when we get to see what you've been doing with them. And I know it sounds soppy and I know it sounds silly, but it's genuinely true. And I know I talk on that for all of us, the whole team, whether that's the DT, whether that's all of our demonstrators, whether it's anybody, it's all the way through the company. It's about what you guys create and what enjoyment you get from the product and what you make with it. So if you haven't already, come join in on the group, share with us what you've been doing. And of course, make sure you follow the group rules because if not, I'll get in trouble for encouraging you to go off the rails. Then it gets stars on charts and Pete gets moany. But if you can follow the group rules, we'd love to see you sharing with us. And if you haven't already, then join in with the homework missions too, because that really is our way of kind of saying, do you know what? You've probably made 10 cards this week, 20 cards this week. But have you thought of doing this size or this colour or this theme and trying to push you kind of a little bit out of your comfort zone and send you off on a tangent that you might not have come across or thought of or just done? Because it's a bit like me with the autumn cards. When I sat down to create some samples of the autumn cards, I was like, well, I don't know where am I going to go with these? I've never really done that many autumn cards. And then suddenly I was like, this colour works, that colour works, this works, that works. Before I knew it, and this is, again, the truth, I think I'd sat down thinking I would make like 5 or 6 samples for the shows because if we've got a DT, I don't need to make the samples. So I was like, I'll make 5 or 6. I think, did I make 30 in the end or was it 25?
Probably nearly 30, I think.
I think it was 30. I think I might be wrong on that, but I got very carried away and we ended up with way more than I needed to be doing because I just enjoyed playing with the collection. And if I enjoy playing with the collection, the ideas come flowing and the kind of missions more fun. And this is why we do it with the homework. If we can give you a little mission or a little challenge that you haven't kind of thought of, a colour scheme or a size or a theme that you've not worked in, might just push you to try something you've not done before. And out of that can really come a whole new world of exploration. Any questions before we leave them in peace for this evening?
No, I don't think so.
No? We're good?
I think we confused a few by being on tonight.
I know, sorry.
Samantha,
Gwen's
she's
fault.
confused. We'll blame Gwen.
We're going to get more stars on the charts. It's not Gwen's fault.
It's
Gwen
not
was on
Gwen's
Hobby
fault.
Maker last night, in case you missed it. If you did miss it, you can go back and catch up on the show. She was on at 5 and 8. Very, very, very good shows, very informative, full of ideas. And if you've missed them, I really would recommend you go back and watch them because they are genuinely just a joy to watch. She was with Adam, and Adam's lovely, and it was a really lovely set of shows. And she brought you inspiration with the brand new autumn collection, which is all different stamps and stencils on an autumn theme, and it really does cover all of autumn, all the way through from birthdays to Halloween to get well soon. There's a little bit of everything in this one, and it's a really lovely set to kind of see and explore if you haven't already. So because the Gwen was on at 8, we didn't dare go live at 7 and then run the risk of not being off in time for Gwen's show. So we said we'd do it this evening instead. And that was because, of course, we'd changed so Gwen could do the sneaky peek on Monday. So I know it's all confusing, but if you're ever unsure of when we're going to appear and where we're going to be, then don't forget to check out the event section of the Creative Expressions Facebook page. We are trying really hard to make sure everything we're doing is put up as an event for you. So whether that's our homework, whether that's our demo days, whether that's our shows, whether that's our releases of brand new brands landing under our umbrella, there's an event for it so you can see what's coming up. Now, that is actually something to mention. Today, we announced as an official event, Gwen's been talking about it a little while because she does, because she's allowed to. But if you haven't seen the official event announcement, we've got our next demo day coming up. Gwen is back off on her travels. Gwen is heading to Jilly's Crafts in Ellesmere Port. Do I get a star for that? Good start.
That's a good
start. Start for the memory
I'm
there.
impressed.
And she will be there on Saturday, the 13th of September. I can't tell you a lot about this day. I really can't tell you a lot about this day. What I'm going to tell you, I'm getting the eyes.
Can you not?
I'm getting the eyes from the side. Can't tell you a lot at all. I really, 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 really can't. But what I will tell you is that Gwen's going to have 2 brand new collections that you've not seen. That's all I'm going to tell you, I think, because I think I might get more stars if I tell you any more. But Gwen will have 2 you've not seen. Completely different. 13th September, Jilly's Crafts, Ellesmere Port. Going to be a very good day. And this is also fun. Still haven't got the name down, but she's got a Gwen's Demo Day die. Something
Correct.
like that.
He's out for them stars, isn't he?
I am out for the stars. I've got to backtrack. She's got a really cool Demo Day die that he's got a huge saving off of it, and it's just available from 10 till 4 on the Demo Day in store. So pop in, get that. Also, while you're there, look at the goodie bag. There is a brand new goodie bag and a brand new Demo Day die. You would have heard that we spoke about these for Craft Bliss, who did a Demo Day just a couple of weeks ago. Theirs completely different. There is not a single part of these that is the same as those. So if you do manage to be in Liverpool and Bournemouth at the same time, or you know, go to both of them, you're not going to be doubling up on your bargains. These are brand new exclusive bargains for Jilly's Craft on September 13th. So again, do pop in, get your bargains, see Gwen, have a chat, and hopefully be inspired with the 2 brand new collections.
Quick question. Lovely April's joined us today. April Brown Boots from somewhere in America.
Just somewhere in
Can't
America.
remember exactly where you're from, April, sorry.
Huge and massive land.
She's just asking if she can order for the USA from Hobbymaker.
Yes.
The answer is no.
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 Yes. No.
But there are several of our stockists that do ship to America.
There is several of our UK stockists that ship to America. I'm going to be honest with you and tell you that we are working very hard to bring you more USA stockists so that you have got it over your side, simply to make it easier and quicker for you. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have more updates on that as things start to progress in that fashion. I won't lie to you, there has been a few hurdles. I'm pretty sure we all know of the hurdles that have made it a bit trickier for UK suppliers to kind of take things to America, as with a lot of the world. And it has kind of put a bit of a spanner in the works. But we are trying to overcome that, and we are working on it. And we will hopefully soon be able to tell you a little bit more about that. And that's, again, all I can say at this stage, I suppose. Get in the eyes.
Never get the eyes.
Get in the eyes.
Never.
Okay, so little bits of news in case you've missed them, and then I promise we're going to stop and leave you in peace. Monday at 7 p.m, we will be back here for our Monday Night Natter. That's going to be a sneaky peek Monday Night Natter as such. And we are going to be chatting all things woodware. That's going to be a fun one. So join us 7 p.m. But if you're worried about waiting till Monday to find out what Francois' brand new collection is, do not fear. Tomorrow at 1 p.m, right here on this page, there will be a little video for about 8 minutes where Francois is going to pop up and she's going to take you through the whole collection. So you do not have to wait. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. If you can't make it then, don't worry, you can catch up with it later. But it is going to take you through the whole collection. You're going to see all of the goodies that are coming under the Woodware brand that will be available on the shows next Saturday on Hobby Maker. And Francoise will be there from 3 p.m. She'll be on at 3. She'll be back at 8, Saturday the 6th of September on Hobby Maker. Gwen is going to be back in the middle of all of this because I'm going all over the place with my times and dates, aren't I? Gwen will be back Thursday at 7 p.m, where she will be bringing you her first bundle bargains to give you a saving on a little treat bag full of amazing dies. And I think that's all of the times and dates I've got to say. So do we have a winner for our cards?
We do, indeed.
Come on then, let's go over to independent adjudicator.
Congratulations to Catherine Felder. I think I've said that right. Apologies if not. You'll win Jamie's cards, so if you just let us know if you want them signed or not. And email us the details. I'm looking at the...
Oh, do you not know?
Oh no, it's something to do. No, look at him. Oh, he thinks he's getting another star, doesn't he? Yeah, so thank you all for your comments and for taking part. But yeah, congratulations to Catherine Felder.
And how does Catherine contact us?
He's nasty.
I think this is star free.
It's like
for
a
you.
Cheshire cat over
Free
there
for
whilst you weren't looking.
Free. I reckon free for Pete tonight. We've got to catch up, haven't we? Yes, please, Catherine. Could you please send us an email to jamierodgerscrafts@hotmail.com and we will get them popped in the post for you. As Pete says, if you like them signed, let us know. We'll sign them for you. If you don't, we'll leave them plain and then you can send them out from there if you wish to. Thank you all very much for joining us this evening. It's genuinely been a joy to be with you. So thank you for your company. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining in with our silly shenanigans. And we will be back Monday at 7 p.m. Don't forget to watch the Woodware announcement tomorrow at 1. Good night from me.
Good night from me.
See you all on Monday.
See you
Thanks
soon.
again.
Bye.